Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Richard Morco, the Long Hill Report theater event. The Pasture Prime Players, housed downstairs from where we are, our studio, are holding productions. And we have Dawn and Lynn, who are two of the brain trust in the organization, and are going to be talking about this production, which I believe is a musical.
Yes, it is.
And it's a musical recently written. I mean,
No, I don't know when it was written, but it's based in the 1930s.
It's not George and Ira Gershwin.
No.
No.
Is it a brother team doing the music and
No, it's two gentlemen.
two gentlemen?
Yeah, different last names.
All right, we are going to ask you now. What is the name of the play? Let's start off with it.
Name of the play is Soup du Jour.
Soup du Jour. Because I am a linguist, I know that means soup of the day.
That's right.
Actually, I'm not a linguist, but everybody's heard soup du jour. So, what is the play about? And first of all, let us introduce Dawn and Lynn. Dawn, want to tell us about your, well, because you're in the left, not you. We'll go with you first.
Okay.
Who are you and what do you do?
So my name is Don Konopacki. I'm a member of the board of directors of the Pasture Prime Players, and I am also in this play. I play the role of Franklin O'Shea, who is a bartender, and that's really about all I can say with regard to that.
Pretty much.
Well, you do know your lines and everything.
Oh yes.
I mean,
He's known his lines for over 2 years.
okay, great. That's good, but you're not giving anything away.
No, we won't give anything away.
Okay.
Well, part of the problem was obviously COVID came, and we were 1 week into rehearsals when COVID first hit, and the kibosh was put on every single kind of performance and anything. So we really couldn't have anything because of restrictions with regard to how close people could be together. And because we have a very small venue, we'd only be able to fit 3 people in the audience. And so we had to wait until COVID went.
Okay, but so you know but you won't give anything of the play away.
We can tell little
I'll give you
bits.
little bits and
We're
pieces.
going to drag something out of you.
Yeah.
Lynn, are you in the play?
No, I'm not. I'm the director.
You're the director.
Yeah.
And can your man here take direction?
Somewhat.
Oh!
He's very opinionated, but and this is really his baby. He's wanted to do this play for years. He's been talking about it.
And you mentioned before it's a play set in the 1930s.
Set in 1939, basically based out of Bailey's Restaurant, which is a very fashionable restaurant in New York City. And the main characters are Stuart Bailey, whose father has just passed away, and he now has charge of the restaurant, and a wonderful young female reporter named Catherine Hawks.
Catherine Hawks. And was this play written in the 30s or 40s?
No.
No,
It's a recent production.
the play was written in the early 1990s.
Was it that far back?
Yes, it was.
I didn't know.
So it's not. So when did you say it was written?
Pardon?
When did you say it was written? 19.
I think it was written around 1992, 1993. It's not a play that people would necessarily be familiar with. It wasn't on Broadway or off Broadway or anything like that. But it's just a play that I ran across a long time ago, and I was sent a copy of the script as well as a CD of the music, and I really loved the play and the music, and I've been trying to get it staged for quite some time.
And the Pasture Prime Players, which is the name of the group, Pasture, as in
We're out to pasture.
we're out to pasture. Sometimes people think I should be out to pasture. And Prime, which means kind of a mix of a metaphor
the
there.
best.
What? Pasture Prime.
Yeah.
Okay. Players.
It's really a little bit of a pun. So
yeah.
past your prime as opposed to
Yeah.
pasture prime.
Yep. I see that. Yeah. It's the pasture is. No, we're not going to.
Yeah. But we have young people in the show.
They are not past their prime.
They are not past their prime. They are in the
And
prime of life.
Neither are you two past your prime.
Well, thank you.
So, your character is Franklin O'Malley. Did you say
O'Shea.
O'Shea.
And he is the bartender at Bailey's.
That's correct.
Is this true? Was there a Bailey's restaurant that was?
No, there wasn't.
So this is the restaurant is playing itself as a wonderful and fine restaurant of
Right.
the era. So, and you came out, you found this. How did you find it?
It was sent to me by the author because I was in another theater group at the time when this first came out, and sometimes new authors will send out perusal scripts to you if they haven't yet gotten it published by one of the publishing houses which people normally use. And it was a way for them to quickly try and find some people who might want to stage it.
So how long ago did you say you read this?
That would have been in 1995, 96, somewhere around
When
there.
it came to you,
Right.
it caught your fancy, obviously. You think it's quite a good show.
Yes, I do.
And you are and you've wanted to stage it for a while, I guess.
Yes.
Can you give a little credit to the gentleman who wrote it? I mean, since the '90s, you might have forgot. I mean, some days I don't remember mine.
Can't help you. I left my phone downstairs.
So
I don't.
I'm trying to.
I don't mean to put you.
So it isn't known playwrights or composers who have done it. Greg Opelka was the name of the composer, and there's two gentlemen who wrote the book who I don't recall at this time.
I just typed it on the poster. I didn't.
And now we're really going to test your memory. Do you remember the name of the play?
Oh yes,
So,
that's
Jour.
Yeah, I heard
That was
just
easy.
2 minutes ago. I just was testing you. And testing myself, too. This is my second childhood today.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you've been wanting to do this for quite a while. How long have you both been associated with Pasture Prime?
Well, I was.
Forever for Don.
I was kind of the founder of Pasture Prime Players.
Okay.
It happened back in the late '90s, where I was supposed to help out at a Shepherd Hill production. I volunteered to be a parent helper, and I'm probably the only parent who ever gave a resume to let them know what my theater background was. And the director was really impressed with the fact that I had previously created a theater group, and so he had always wanted to create a theater group, and I didn't end up helping on that particular play at all, but we played some phone tag and eventually came up with Pasture Prime Players. And unfortunately, he ended up moving to New Orleans before we could get a chance to stage anything. And I was able to find, about 4 or 5 like-minded people who were interested in.
And how long ago did that happen?
That would have been in 1997 is probably when we started. Officially, it would have been, I believe we were officially founded, getting our
You could be
I
vague
can't-
about it. You don't have to say
Well,
the
yes,
exact date.
I'm
This is-
trying to remember.
This
It
is
was
not a test.
we became incorporated. I know the date that we became incorporated was February 29th, and we became incorporated on a leap year, so that kind of narrows down to when it was. It was probably, I want to say 2004 might have been when we incorporated. Yes.
I mean, if you're trying to convince me you're a bit of an autistic savant, you just did. So you don't have to. You don't have to be. This is not a test.
Yeah.
You know, but it basically says this group has been in business for a while.
Yeah.
And of course, we all know how everything kind of shut down in COVID. But you guys have had a number of theater productions that you've done. And that's why we certainly think it's a great town organization. We wanted you to talk about it. And now, we're going to give Lynn a chance to talk.
Yeah.
How long have you been involved? Oh, she looks like her eyes caught in this headlight there. Okay, my
How
dear.
long have I been hanging out with you? Oh, 8 years maybe?
Something like that.
7 or 8 years.
Did you have theater experience before that?
Not really.
But you.
I started over at the Gateway Players in Southbridge, and I think Don was doing a show that I wanted to be in, so I came and auditioned.
You did audition for our first production, I remember.
Did I?
Yes, that was Bell Book and Candle.
Oh.
Albuquerque?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
That's right.
Yep.
And I didn't get cast.
Well,
Hey. Gee.
Okay. We're going to have a cage match here. Somebody is a little upset.
you can't get always casts.
That's right.
So you did start out acting with Gateway,
Yep.
and you've also acted here at Pasture
Uh-huh.
Prime. But how'd you get into directing, and why?
Gateway actually had a director's workshop where you went and you did a one-act play, and you had one of their directors be your mentor and teach you all the fine tuning of being a director and what you need to do and what you need to know. So I started out with it that way. And I find the older I get, the less I can remember my lines. So if I'm a director, I get to have the book in front of me all the time.
So that works out.
Oh, yeah.
I would never admit to something like that. I just say I'm a natural director, but you're very honest as to.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was interesting because I did see the play that she did based on the workshop, and I thought she did the best job out of all the directors, and I approached her.
Go on.
Yeah, no, I did.
She
And then I approached.
she can't take a compliment.
I can't.
Yeah, I approached Lynn to direct a play for Pasture Prime.
Oh, that's right. You did.
So this isn't her first play.
No, it's not
No.
my first one here.
Okay, so you like directing.
It is my first musical, though. First time directing a musical. So that's made it more interesting and more scary all at the same time.
But you thrive on that.
I'm working through it. I love music. I love the music in this show. It's nice, fun, happy music for the most part. And the show itself is very cute, And the only thing I can tell you is that Stuart Bailey has a secret. And he doesn't want anybody to know.
Oh,
But we're all going to find out.
So if you want to find out,
You got to
you're gonna
come
have
see
to
the
come
show.
watch the show.
Yep.
Stuart Bailey.
Stuart Bailey.
That sounds a little like Bailey from Wonderful Life.
Now, that was George Bailey, wasn't
yeah,
it?
George Bailey,
Yeah.
right.
This was
It's his second cousin.
second cousin,
Once
twice
removed,
removed on his mother's side.
Yeah.
So the Bailey fellow has a secret, and we're not going
does.
to get we're not going to get too much out of you.
Nope. We'll take all the fun out of it.
So Pasture Prime, since the early 2000s, you said, what do you call it, incorporated. And how did you come through COVID? How hard was it? Did that almost break up, or did you?
It was really difficult for us because with the type of venue we have here, we were severely restricted, and you have to make enough money in order to pay for things, and we just had to.
Wait a minute, could you repeat that? You have
In other words, we
pay to play is basically like.
yes, you have to pay royalties in order to.
Even if you haven't produced it yet, you have to pay royalties?
Yes, you have to play. Often you have to pay in advance. Musicals are even more difficult because you're paying royalties not just to the authors but also to the composer. And then you end up having, musicals usually cost about twice what it costs to do a normal play, and that's only provided that it's a no-name musical. If you do something like an Andrew Lloyd Webber thing, you know that you're going to be paying really out of the nose, and they're very restrictive, and you don't always have a guarantee that you can produce something. Oftentimes you have to apply for rights. Well, you have to apply for rights for all productions, but 90% of the time you don't have to worry about it. You usually get the rights, but there are times when if it's a well-known show, that if there's a show going on someplace within a certain radius, you're not allowed to produce it.
Right. So, however, there are some things that are in the public domain that you could do that. I mean, The Marriage of Figaro. No, I'm really kidding. But there's something.
I'll get right on that. Yep.
Yeah. What?
I'll get right on that.
Yeah. Somehow I didn't hear the white heat of passion to get moving on.
Well, where am I going to find Bugs Bunny to sing?
In The Marriage of Figaro?
Yes. He did it as a cartoon.
Bugs is Bugs in the public domain?
No.
No, he isn't. No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
So it won't work.
yeah. Well, this is going to come as a shock to you that that wasn't the real Marriage of Figaro that Bugs did.
No, but it did introduce a lot of kids to opera.
It did. It did.
Yep.
And in fact, when WCRB, which is the classical radio in Boston, they used to do that, what do you call it, Warner Brother cartoons at the opera thing. You know, they kill the rabbit.
Yep.
So that, so I don't want to, suggest that you might have a little cartoon, thing here, but if the spirit moves you, I won't get in your way.
There will be no rabbits.
No rabbits killed.
No rabbits will be harmed in this
No
play.
production. Okay.
I don't know. You never know with a classy.
No, we never killed the bunny, so we will not kill the rabbit. That's an inside joke.
Okay. So you love the directing part of it.
Yeah, I do. It's different in a way because you get to do everything the way you see the play coming across. Okay. A different director might look at it in a whole different light and see it this way, and then this other one will come in and see it in a totally different way and go, oh no, we're not going to do it straight. We're gonna do it comical. Use the exact same lines, but say it a little differently, and you've changed it into being more of a drama to being more a little comic, a comedy in between.
Well, the way you've said, I get the feeling it is somewhat comic. I mean,
it is.
Event in New York City restaurant,
Yep.
Franklin O'Shea. That does sound a little like it's going to go in that direction. Now, it's a musical. Do you have an orchestra, or do you have an ensemble?
We have a pianist and perhaps a drummer.
Pianist and
Yeah, that's about all we can fit down there.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's not a big space.
It's not huge.
No.
I will grant you that.
And that's basically all we really need.
The people. Are you a singer?
I like to think I am.
And you're going.
He can sing.
I wasn't meaning that as putting you on the spot here, but I was just trying to find out if you are going to be a singer in the.
Yeah, everybody sings it.
Everybody sings, and is
Yep.
it sort of chorusy or is a lot of solos or what?
No, everybody's got their own solos, and then there are, group. There's only 6 people in the show. And at one point, I think 5 of them are all singing at the same time.
Yes.
4 or 5 of them. Yeah, but it's not a chorusy type thing. It's more musical speech.
Musical speech.
Yeah.
Is there a soup recipe in this?
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's soup of the day. It's
Well,
got
I
to have
mean-
a soup recipe.
Okay, so are you? Will be serving soup as part of the play. I'm trying to pull teeth here.
Oh, my goodness, no, we will not be serving soup.
Yes.
So-
That was something I thought about a long time ago, that it might be interesting to do this as a dinner theater type of thing.
Oh, that
Not
would've been
necessarily with Pasture Prime, but doing it as something where we would go to a restaurant and have them pay us to produce it. So it's something which I guess could always be thought about being done
That is
at some point.
kind of a cute idea.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
really. You can let that, as an idea, you can let that stew.
Yes, we could.
I can't believe you did that. That little, I really, you won't. You won't.
I didn't moan, so it was a good joke.
Thank you.
You see, with Pasture Prime, we also have a youth division, and that's called the Pasture Bedtime Players. And we, on occasion, have a singing group, a cappella choir, which is called the Pasture Prime Chorale. And so you can see we do quite a bit of
We're punny.
Punning yourself. Okay, so yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that is something you might have some, at least small appreciation for.
Oh, definitely.
So, okay, do you want to give out if people are interested in being either going to the play, can you tell them, give out a phone number where they can call for tickets, or a website where they can, find out about it?
Sure.
Don has the phone number.
Yes. So the phone number for reservations is 508-248-5448.
Right? All right.
Yep.
Billy, glad you said that relatively slowly. People, don't forget, this is your chance to come.
Yep.
And should they call that number too if they're interested in finding out more about the theater group, or do you have another, or do you have a website?
We do have a website. It's pastureprime.org.
Easy to remember, PASTUREPRIME.org.
Yes.
Yeah. And are you always looking for new people, or?
No, we're perfectly fine with who we have.
We're always looking
No,
for
we're
new
always
actors.
looking for actors, and even more so, support people.
Yep.
We always like to have backstage people, and sometimes that's
Tech
harder
people.
than finding actors.
Oh, I would think so. I mean, you can always, present company accepted, of course.
Yeah.
You can always find a hand to go up on stage, but somebody to bang the nails and stuff.
Well, to give you kind of an example, 3 of the people who normally work the lighting board are on stage for this production. So you can see where it's a little tough. We're going to be training someone, I guess, to do it.
I got somebody new we're training.
That's always good to have some volunteers. a theater company is a good thing to have in a town. And I think Sturbridge, since the group in downtown is gone,
Yeah.
I think that's lost a lot. But, it's nice, like Southbridge has one, Gateway. It adds something to a town.
It's a nice way to go off for an evening, enjoy a live show, see your neighbors, and have some fun. And it doesn't cost much.
Always
Yeah.
a plus in this life,
Right.
especially
Nowadays.
yeah.
And with how people don't seem to be interacting with each other as much because everyone's all caught up in social media, it's nice to go out and see something live and experience something. I've always, that's one of the reasons that I'm so attracted to theater, is being right there in the moment. It's so much better than sitting in front of a computer screen and looking at things, or even watching a movie in the big screen. Live theater is a whole new level of
It pulls you
interaction.
in. It makes you part of it.
Which is big.
Right. It is.
And with a small intimate theater like we have here, where the front row is only 3 feet from the stage, it really brings the audience very much into the play, where they can almost feel like they're at Bailey's restaurant.
Do you have anything else to add about the play itself? What kind of characterize it a little bit?
I'd say it's kind of like a throwback to the old, romantic comedies from
Yeah.
the 40s. It has that kind of feel to it. So, think of something, with, maybe Katharine Hepburn in it. And
Oh, they'll like that, the two actors.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll tell them they're Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy.
Yes.
They'll be thrilled.
Yeah, they're really.
Yeah.
And so it's good that it has that old-time feel to it, I think.
And it makes it fun.
Yeah.
The show is fun. The show is enjoyable.
Okay. And we don't see him, but the president, because he's off camera, but the president of the organization is over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pay no attention to that
Yeah,
man
we
behind the
will.
curtain.
Yeah. So,
Yes, that's Stephen Jean, our president.
so tell us some more, because I want to grab extract as much as I can from you.
I can only tell you so much.
I mean, there's certain, being that there is a newspaper reporter, obviously the newspaper reporter wants to find out something.
So this is-
And the
She wants to know the secret.
yeah, she wants to know the secret.
we've alluded to that again. That's the secret.
It's
Both the-
all about the secret.
So it's-
And there is also a food critic from the newspaper
Oh, yes.
who is a bitter rival to the star reporter.
So this is sort of like the front page, that famous play from I think the 30s. So we're really getting into
Before
the new,
my time.
Well, it's before my time too, but
I figured that.
as somebody who's interested in history, I delve back then in ancient
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, and there are references to things that had happened in the past, because this is just after Prohibition stopped.
Okay.
And so some of that goes into the Prohibition era is talked a little bit about in the play. Being a bartender, you'd certainly know about speakeasies and such.
Yeah, you would have at least heard.
Yes.
Yeah. So, we're coming towards the end of the interview here. Is there anything you want to say to people to grab them, make them come out?
Well, the dates are 2 weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, May 12, 13, and 14. and 19, 20, and 21. Friday and Saturday, the nights are at 7:30 p.m. And on Sundays, one of those Sundays being Mother's Day, so take your mom out
Take your
for a
mom,
show.
Yeah,
That's always good. The Sunday shows are at 2 p.m.
excellent. We thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you for having us.
And we hope this is well, let me say, what would we say here? Guys, break a leg.
Oh, don't say that. I did that once during a show.
Thank you, Lynn.
Did you ever see The Producers where the guy says, break a leg? I broke my leg.
Yes.
I did.
We've all seen The Producers. Why don't you go and be a schmotty?
Yeah.
No more theater references. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching the Long Hill Report Theater Edition.